Hi YouTube, Coinpicker here. Here are my thrift store finds for the past week. So I go to the Vancouver Sally Ann Salvation Army thrift store and looked around, went to the back where they have like furniture and lamps and stuff. And I spy this thing over here. And it was really cheap. It was only like $9.99. So I heard a lot about vases that were turned into lamps, like Chinese vases, and they still have a certain amount of collectability. Whenever they drill a hole into the base of the lamp, I think they call it like ventilated, you know. But yeah, I did pick it up, and they call these like Chinese ginger jars, but I asked my father-in-law, the resident expert on these like sort of things, and he said that they weren't really specifically for ginger. I don't know, the Westerners, adopted that name for it. He said that when people got married, part of the dowry, they would have like certain like food items that were gifted. And so this vase or container has the double happiness Chinese character. See, this is single happiness, double happiness. And I guess they would put like, pickled vegetables or dried fruits and give them as in pairs to the, I guess it's the bride's family would give it to the groom's family or vice versa. There was some sort of give and take exchange traditionally. But it's only $9.99, which was already pretty cheap for a lamp there, even if it's not old. And I had a coupon for like 50% off electronics. So I don't know. I tried, and the lady at the counter said, "Okay, I can take your coupon." So electric, I guess close enough. So that was nice. So $5 for this lamp, and it has a wooden base, wooden cover, and brass fixtures or fittings. And it looks like it was converted, going by the wiring, probably in the 80s, maybe late 70s. See, well, I took it apart just so you could see everything. And if you notice here, there's a character written in ink, black ink, that says Jing, as in capital, Chinese character for capital. Just like Beijing is northern capital, literally. So there's one on the other side too. So I don't know what's the significance of that. But you can tell there's certain age. I looked online, and this style of pot, some people claim to be from the Qing dynasty, like let's say around 1850 up to 1900. But according to my father-in-law, he said, going by the style and the ink and whatnot, it looks like made during the early Chinese Republic period. That was right after they got rid of their emperor. So like roughly about 1920. All right, so I'll show you the base. Well, you could see inside. Not much to see. But check this out. All right, so they cut out a hole. It'd be nicer if it wasn't, but then again, I wouldn't have gotten it for $5 if it wasn't turned into a lamp. So there is some wear and some grime around the edge. So it does show like some sort of age. But cool, first time I ever found one of these. And let's see if we can see that other mark. Yep, basically on the other side. Right there. So I'll just do a little bit of a close-up. So I've checked online, and similar lamps with this kind of vase base sell roughly about $300. So not bad for my $5 investment. Next, actually, I just went back to the same place, same store the other day, and I saw a similar looking lamp. Well, not the same base, but it was, they call it a Famille Rose vase. I guess late Qing Dynasty, like, you know, maybe early 1900. Lots of green and red, no, like multicolored. But it looked like, I mean, the brass fittings actually was a double-headed fixture. It actually looked older than these fixtures. But the only thing like I would have bought it, I think they were asking like $19.99 or $29.99, but it was broken at one time. So this one's perfect, well, relatively speaking, but the other one was like glued back together like a big chunk, and you could see where it was broken, because there was, I guess, parts that they couldn't fit back in. It was like just gaps, right, gaping holes. But I did take pictures just for the heck of it, just for my reference. But I was lucky enough to get this one, so I'm happy. Next, there was another day I went to this other charitable thrift store. I forgot the name of it. I think it was like for the orphans or some hospital somewhere. So I popped in there. I rarely find anything there. I think last time I found like an old book in their book section. But I was looking in their display cases near the front cashiers, the counter, and there was like a bowl. Let me see. It was like a bowl of watches. One was a bowl of working watches and another was a bowl of broken watches. And for some reason, this sterling, and I guess it's called cat's eye, tiger's eye, cufflink was in there. So it is marked. But the funny thing is, right away, my attention was drawn to the bowl of pins and cufflinks that was right under the counter beside it. So I went through the whole bowl and could not find the matching one to this. And I mentioned that to the lady, the manager there, and she goes, "Oh, you know what? Just the other day, some other gentleman was doing the same thing, seeing if they can match this orphaned cufflink." So I go, I'll buy it anyways. And I asked her, how much is this orphaned cufflink, which hopefully I can find a similar looking one in the future. So I'll have a pair. And, you say it that way they're not going to like charge you an arm and leg. I don't think they knew it was sterling, but they charged me $1, no tax, which was nice. See, it has the marking 925, and I think there's like 76 is the maker's mark. I think it's an eagle or a shield, which it is the way they register artists or silversmiths in Mexico back in the day. So it is made in Mexico. And I estimate it to be probably, I don't know, maybe $3 Canadian of silver, because, it sort of weighs a little bit, minus the stone, of course. With, and the stone is nice. I mean, maybe I could turn it into like a pendant, worst comes to worst. But for $1, what the heck, I picked it up. And it's funny, the clip part says alpaca, but on the base of the cufflink, it says sterling. I don't know, why didn't they just make the whole thing out of sterling? I mean, what are they saving, right? Unless they thought the sterling would be not strong enough as the clip hardware. I don't know. But it was just about a day or I'd say about 2 days ago. I went to my local Salvation Army thrift store close to home. And first, I see this on the shelf. Wow, $2.99. I believe it is a wine bottle coaster. So it's cut glass in the middle. A little bit of silver as a rim. And it is marked. Let me see if I can find the marking for you. It's got me 1 second. Oh, here it is. So I was already excited when I saw this. Right there. Sterling. And only $2.99 Canadian. And you know, it's nice. It's like still usable. But how many people use coasters for their wine bottles these days? Well, I guess it's sort of like a obsolete item. But it was just minutes later. All right, this hasn't happened to me in ages. All right. Minutes later, I checked out their cart full of new things to put on the shelf. And it was just sitting there, laying in the cart, or in the box in the cart. Look at this thing. Pretty heavy bowl. And check it out, $5.99. Oh, I think I have it upside down here. Burke's Sterling. And we have some silver hallmarks. So the first one, I believe it's the Canadian hallmark for sterling silver. And then we have the, I guess, a similar 925 hallmark. Sort of based on the British lion facing left mark, but I think they modified it for Canada. And then we have a date mark, Q. And I'm not sure, maybe this is actually a pattern number on the bottom or a year, like 1999 dash 14. I don't know. Probably just the model number. But yeah, like sterling silver, and it's pretty hefty, probably like a candy bowl or maybe put some fruit in it. But it weighs a whopping 200 and I believe it worked out to be like 242 grams after I, calculated, times by 0.925. So I think it was actually weighing like around 250, and then after I calculated the pure silver in it, it was like ended up being like 7.7 troy ounces, almost 8 ounces, which is awesome. Here it's about $20 Canadian an ounce, so let's say even seven ounces. That's like 140. I think I calculated it was like $150 Canadian worth of silver. So that's not bad. I haven't had such a decent size find in a while. But, it doesn't compare to the huge finds I used to have, like the big pieces. So, I mean, it's nice, but it's not like a gigantic find. But I'll still take it. I mean, I was really happy just finding this, on that day. But, wow. That adds to the stack. Well, anyways, yeah, that's pretty much my haul this week. The vase is something different. Oh, I think I'll keep it for a while until I get bored of it. I don't have anything similar to that. And of course the silver goes into my stack. The jewelry, you know, I'll put it off to the side. Maybe I will find something similar to it. If not, it'll just go into the orphaned earrings and cufflinks jar. Well, anyways, if you have any mail you want to send to me, my mailbox, PO box is down below in the write-up. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you in our next video. Coinpicker out.